Hello parents and carers. Welcome to our Year 9 Aspire and Achieve video. The purpose of this video is to provide you with a condensed version of the information that you would have received had we been able to invite you into school for this presentation evening. I'm really pleased to report that Year 9 have made a great start to their options courses, and I know that the cross-curricular projects have been very well received so far as well. It is more important than ever that due to the disruption of the summer term, that our students demonstrate a fantastic attitude to learning, that they work hard and complete their home learning to the very best of their ability. Unfortunately, it seems we still have a way to go before we're out of the other side of this pandemic, but I would like to say a huge thank you to all parents for supporting us with our reopening plans for this month. School feels calm and safe, and our students have adapted really well to the new systems and routines. And despite everything going on around us at the moment, we are determined to have a fantastic year at Rydale School with our students. In a couple of weeks' time, Mr. Pepper and Miss Hunter will be creating and sending a video for parents on study habits, revision strategies, and how you can support your child at home with their learning. For now, I hope you find the following information useful. Before I hand over to Mr. Pepper, I would just like to introduce Rydale School's senior leadership team for this academic year. Miss Hunter, Deputy Head Teacher, Mr. Pepper, Raising Achievement Director for the Rydale Federation, Mr. France, Assistant Head Teacher for Behaviour and Standards, Dr. Williams, Assistant Head Teacher for Inclusion and SENCO for the Rydale Federation, and Miss Wallace, Assistant Head Teacher for School Organisation and Personal Development.
Thank you, Miss Wilkinson. Before I go into more detail about how this year will look and how it will look a little different from last year and from what we had originally planned, I just want to say how delighted I am to see Year 9 back in school. The goal of the first few weeks has been to settle our students into the new normal as quickly as possible and to remind them of why coming to school is great and much better than the alternative. Clearly new procedures have to be followed, but this has been done with a minimum of fuss. I'm so proud of Year 9 and how well they have adapted to life back at school. This will be a great year. The students are in their final year of lower school, finishing their Key Stage 3 courses in some subjects and moving on to beginning their GCSE options. We have designed the Year 9 curriculum carefully and are thrilled to be able to deliver it properly. There are so many great lessons to be had this year. In this presentation, I shall be speaking about how this year will look. The typical pattern for assessment and reporting at Rydale is to have one orange sticker assessment per subject per term. The orange sticker is designed to make sense to parents and is attached to a specific piece of work. It will clearly identify strengths and weaknesses and give students feedback on how to improve. There will be an attitude to learning, A2L, progress tracking report sent home after the first half term, as well as A2L and subject tracking reports, which use GCSE grades, issued at the end of the autumn, spring and summer terms. This will stay largely the same. However, there have been some additions, cancellations and changes to this plan. In this section of the presentation, I'm going to be speaking about the changes that we have made to this year, and you'll see that most of these changes take place in a very busy first term. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about is the additional orange sticker assessment, which will take place by half term. Each subject will produce a short assessment this half term. This may or may not include a written comment depending on the subject, but it will assess key areas of each subject covered during lockdown and at the start of this academic year. This additional assessment is designed to give you an accurate insight into how your child is doing in his or her first few weeks back at Rydale and how we can help your child to succeed. The next change is that we will be sending an additional progress tracking report home. This time, the autumn half-term report will contain both attitude to learning grades and subject tracking grades. This is because you have not received a subject tracking grade since March. Please remember that in addition to the attitude to learning grade and the subject tracking grade, there are two extra columns on each progress tracking report. These are at the far right-hand side of the page. The first one, called National Expectation, is the grade predicted for your child by an algorithm which uses his or her SAT scores to create a most likely grade. The final column is the aspirational but realistic target set for your child by their classroom teacher. This one is called the teacher target. At Rydale, we care deeply about the Attitude to Learning grade. We know that students who demonstrate an excellent attitude to learning enjoy school much more than students who don't, and are much more likely to fulfil their potential. Therefore, we analyse A2L grades closely and are particularly on the lookout for any student who shows a decline in A2L. Any drop is a cause for concern that will be picked up by subject teachers, form tutors and senior leaders within the school. We believe all our students have the potential to demonstrate outstanding attitude to learning, regardless of their attainment. We want our students to try their best, challenge themselves and take pride in their work, and we will support them to do so. We will also celebrate attitude to learning successes by holding a special assembly each term. Where students have received many outstanding grades, parents will be notified by letter or a certificate will be sent home. The first cancellation I must tell you about is to the end of year exams. It had been our plan to run some examinations in English, Maths and Science in the hall at the end of this academic year. However, as GCSEs are very likely to be pushed back well into June, we will not have the space in the hall to do this. However, we have decided that running some formal examinations in the hall would still be a good idea. We shall do these in November instead, when the Year 11 students are sitting their first wave of mock GCSEs. There are many benefits to this. It will allow us to evaluate the curriculum and see how the students have adapted back to time in school. This will also help us to plan for gaps in understanding seen across the year group and to identify students who need more support. It will also give the Year 9 students some experience of preparing for and sitting a formal examination. Finally, although Parents' Evening in its traditional format must be cancelled, we are trying to still run this event. This will involve a significant change of format, and it is likely to also involve some new software. We are desperately keen to ensure some type of parental consultation evening does go ahead, so please watch this space for more information. Finally, I would like to talk to you about Teams. You will see that we have continued to use Teams this academic year. We learnt so much about Teams during the lockdown, and although the learning curve was at times quite steep, it is clearly a very powerful and very useful tool. We have listened to the parental feedback and spoken to many students about how we can use it this year to complement our lessons in the classroom. As a result, all classes have a team, and you will see that lots of homework will be set via this platform this academic year. As a school, we must be ready to shift rapidly to online learning in the event of a partial or full school closure. Teams is a method by which we will continue to educate your child. Your child may have to isolate or quarantine during this year. If that is the case and your child is asymptomatic and able to work, we will ensure we will provide high quality work for them. Please contact school in the usual way. We will then notify all your child's teachers who will set work via the catch-up channel in your child's team. Teams will enable your child's teachers to set work, mark it and give feedback, all while your child stays at home.
Thank you very much for watching. This is the end of this presentation. However, we have made some additional videos in case you would like to watch them. They give a little bit more information on certain specific areas. For instance, Mr. France has made videos about the uniform policy and the behaviour policy. Dr. Williams is speaking about mental health and well-being across the school. And Miss Hunter has made a video speaking about communication with parents, home learning and the use of the planner. So if you would like to watch those videos, you can find the links on this website here. Thank you.